Now what we need to do is test everything. So I'm just going to close that table there. And what I'm going to go to is database tools, and I'm going to go to relationships. And I'll just expand that. What you'll see is that when we made the primary key there, and we told it in here that it was a foreign key, and we looked up, you'll see that this line here indicates there's a one-to-many relationship. So one designer can design multiple pieces of furniture. So the relationship looks okay. You should always have a one there and a many on another side. So now what we're going to just hit save just because we changed the layout. What we're going to do now is we're going to test our tables with some sample data. So in Designer ID, I'm going to type in the first sample data in, which is SMI, and we just put 101. The designer name will just be very boring, call this one Mr. Smith. Email smith@furniture.com. And if you can't see it, we can just expand that over a little bit there. The phone number, we will go with incredibly boring phone number of 01224, and then we just put 345678. And that seems to accept, so that would be the normal data. So now I'm just going to try and break it a little bit. If I type in an extra digit there, it doesn't want to let me do that. If I type in less than that, you'll see that designer ID must be 6 characters long, so I'll just put that back in. I'm going to cut that out. Can I put in anything? Nope, so if it's blank, I'm okay as well. Name had a presence check, so the only thing I could really do is just cut it out. Now designer name, we haven't put a presence check on. So I'll put the name back in there. I'll go back into design view, and under designer name, I will put a presence check. Oops, sorry. So I just say the required is yes. Anytime you make any change in design view. So, email, we didn't put any validation on. And length, well, I can't type in any extra digits because we put a length check 11, but if I take a digit away, the validation is successfully dealing with that. Although not satisfied that the presence check for designer name is working quite as well as it should. If you go to design view, and what we're going to do is for designer name, I'm just going to put the length has got to be greater than 0. So length, open brackets, and put designer name, close the square bracket, close the normal bracket. It's got to be greater than 0. So if we just save that, it'll check, it'll say that it's got to check integrity rules, that's fine. If we just open it again, and what I'm going to do is cut that name out, and that's better. So yeah, that's working slightly better. And as you can see, that error message wasn't particularly great, so it's always better to be put, there must be a designer name. So that's designer done, and item is the next table that we need to deal with. So I'm just going to test that these things work. So item number there should be 001, that's fine. In order is a reasonable description. Description, we'll just put a kitchen table. The price for this particular bit of kit is £150. Type, we should get a drop down table, so we'll select a table there. Quantity, we'll say we've got 6 of them in stock. And the designer ID, if you've implemented that correctly, we should get our designer ID. So that's the normal data, so let's just try and break it a little bit. So can I type in extra characters there? No. And if I type in 1 character less, item number should be 3 characters, so that seems to be working okay. Item name should be a presence check, so if I cut that out, so we need to go and fix that again. So we'll just put that back in there. We'll go into design view for item name, and we will just say that the validation rule is that the length of item name, close square brackets, close the normal brackets, has to be greater than 0. Okay, and say there must be a name. And if you just double click on it again, say you want to save a table and that we have to check all the data, and that's fine. So if I look at the item name this time, and I just cut that out, that's better. So the presence check for that is now working as it should. The price we've obviously put 0, so if I put in -1, that's okay. That's extreme data. I'll put in 0 just to check. Good. So again, I'll just put in my normal price there of 150. Now table, I shouldn't be able to type anything else. So if I put in lamp, the text you entered, and it'll say, do you want to edit? Just say no. So I will just select my quantity. And my quantity, the minimum I've got should be 0. So I can -1. That's not happy with that. 0 should be accepted. So that's fine. And 6 was the value. And if I type in something here that isn't there, okay, it does let me do it. Okay, sorry, I wasn't pressing the enter key. Okay, so if I type in something there that isn't in my list, okay, as soon as I go to click off of the row, it will tell me that you cannot add or change a record because we've not got a designer with that ID. So I will just check. I will just put my designer ID there. And that is our 2 tables tested, that the validation works as it should.